Now I'm the asshole. Welcome, everybody, to the Bartalk podcast.
I thought maybe he was sitting on it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I am your host, Jordan Shabbat, joined by my co-hosts, Sarah Annis today from Mayflower Brewery. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I got Karl Heine from the New World Tavern.
Hi, everybody.
And I got Dan Mahoney of British Beer Company in Plymouth.
What up?
And we are going to recap an amazing 2018, not only for the Bartalk podcast, but in general. There's a bunch of stuff that happened, but mainly for the Bartalk.
Can you say recap the 2018 season, or is it year in review?
Let's call it
year in review.
Year in review, because I don't really know when our season started and ended. I think we did our 1 year sort of episode, a couple months ago? I don't even, we don't do like a regular, it's not like we're weekly.
So let's do the year in review.
We'll call it a year in review. You
like
feel
it.
better about that?
I do.
Yeah?
I do.
Good. I just want you to feel good.
Because we can just review the year.
Fantastic. As long as you're comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
Well, some cool shit happened this year.
What happened this year?
Dan joined the show.
Woo, Danny boy!
Yeah, Dan.
Talking to the mic.
You started by interviewing. Well, it's all funny because he kind of surprise auditioned for the show when we were here at the Mayflower Brewery almost exactly a year ago when we did our holiday show and
We did bar games.
Yep.
with Jeff Nardo and also
Yep.
the Mayflower Brewery, and Dan was there, and then they surprised us and started interviewing us, and then after that it was like, well, fuck, he was way better than we were.
No, I don't think it was like that. He just kept on coming every week, so we invited him.
I
once.
always say I'm like
We
the guy
just
on the
stopped
couch.
going.
I just don't leave.
I believe him, yo. I don't know why, but I do. So Dan's joined the show. This is what, your 8th or 9th episode, I think?
I mean, I don't count. It's all just one magical moment after the other. So
Glad you're thinking of it as important as I am.
Well, some important things did happen to Dan this year. Dan, you want to share it?
yeah, I got a dog.
Gave birth to a beautiful baby dog.
Yeah, a beautiful French bulldog named Snarls Barkley. She has an Instagram. You should follow her. Carl's jealous of her.
She's the cutest.
She's the cutest. That's why Carl's jealous.
She really is, and she dresses better than I could even imagine.
And everybody, I
dress
think.
your
dog?
I mean,
Carl, she rocks the
she
vest
dresses-
better
she's
than
a
you'll ever
styling
rock
motherfucker. She wears that vest like you have on.
Is it a girl?
It's a girl, yeah.
Why you call it Barkley?
It's her last name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snarls is her first name.
Yeah.
Snarly.
Snarly.
Barks.
Snarly
Do you ever call her
Barkley.
like SB?
No, that's too short. She's still learning. You don't want to confuse her with too many names.
Might not make it to the end of 2018, but why do you keep bringing that up?
I don't. You did.
Speaking of things that didn't make it to the end of 2013, Carl's truck died this year.
2018.
Oh, yeah, 18.
Yes.
It did make it to
Carl's truck died this year.
2013.
5 years.
And
Yeah.
my
We thought it was going to die in
awareness of
2013,
time
but
died this year, too.
yeah, I had a truck for a number of years. It was not in the greatest condition, but didn't have a lot of miles. I think it only had like 200,000 miles on it, but it was. I rode that thing hard.
I mean, I just want to know were the Stoli sunglasses still in the back of that truck because I
They
saw
were.
them in there for 2 years. There's this random red pair of Stoli sunglasses.
And the two
Yep.
bags of concrete, right?
Yep,
that
to
will
keep
weigh
it
it
from
down.
fresh down.
Yeah,
Yep.
because I didn't have any shocks,
Yeah.
Oh,
so we had to take those out.
Makes sense.
And it just kept on. You ever see that movie? What the hell is it?
The Terminator with like the guy that just keeps running.
no,
that was
the
your
cars
truck?
that keep on sliding over.
What?
No.
Yes, you do.
Speed?
No, you Tokyo Drift.
Oh, all right, I got it.
So every time I went around the corner, it just kept on bouncing like.
Oh,
a
from
Tokyo
Japanese
Drift.
land.
Makes sense.
Oh, listen to one of our other podcasts
yeah.
to really get that joke. I apologize for the inside. And
Yeah, so the car didn't make it.
about the Honings Corning insulation that you jammed into all the open wounds and stuff too, and
Yeah, you just get the stuff that you spray in and it really just expands all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But wait until it dries before you start sanding it.
All right. Good to know.
R.I.P. the gold bullet. That thing.
Carl,
I've
did
been
you
in it
just
a
kick
couple
out
times.
the foam? Or did you actually, when the summer came, did you have AC or did you just kick out the foam for the ventilation?
Oh, we didn't have AC. We didn't have heat.
So you just kicked out the foam and let it vent?
Well, we didn't really have a vent. It was just that big hole in the
Yeah.
door. Kind of just the air came right through.
Yeah.
I got an honest question. Did you keep any piece of that car for yourself to hang on the wall or
No,
anything like
I'm
that?
not.
Come on.
I'm not a very emotional person like that. You know
And he
what I mean?
turns over, he's got his key in his right hand, he just starts like a tear drops down his cheek.
He wears it around his
Anyway.
neck, Jordan, obviously.
See, I would go the opposite. The fact that he named his kids 1 and 2 and 3.
Red Sox World Series champions this year, guys.
Go Red Sox.
There is a
Yep.
specific podcast episode where we were recording at the Tavern on the Wharf, located in Plymouth. It was like 6 episodes ago. We did one of our first question and answer podcasts, and in the background was Game 2, I think, of the ALCS, and I think I paid attention to about 2 minutes of that podcast because I was just watching that TV the entire time. If you listen to it, you could probably pick it out pretty
You hear
obviously.
him spouting off batting averages, pitch speeds.
And for once, my mouth just shut up. Like I didn't interrupt anybody. I let you guys talk. Like it was like the most fluent, like best, well done podcast.
It's also the shortest podcast we've had.
Yeah, I didn't go on a big fucking rant like I just did just now. But that's a big
Well,
one.
I mean, all the listeners thought we were in a big fist fight because all he did was yell, "Swing! Hit it!
You
Swing!"
motherfucker!
What are you swinging at? What the fuck? Don't bring in Pomeranz. What are you doing?
You hit
Well,
like
we've
a
had
little girl.
We've had some important people on that after the podcast really, I should say, we had guests on the podcast that after they were on, they really made it big. I think Matt Tissot was one of them.
Yeah, thanks to what we call the Bartalk bump. Thanks, Steve Colbert. We borrowed that from you. Matt Tissot won Mayflower's first ever bartender showdown, which is part of their 3rd annual America's Hometown Throwdown. He competed in a competition here at Mayflower Brewery back in September. I want to say it was
mid-September.
Thank you. And yeah, former guest of the show, Matt Tissot, employee works with Dan over at the BBC.
Come see his trophy sitting right in the mantle.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
a gorgeous trophy.
Yep.
I got to throw a little credit out to Steve Finnegan over at the Cold Spring Club.
Yes, we should have the Cold Spring Club guys on here this year. That's a good idea.
You're asking for a lot, Jordan.
Rob Crowley, Steve Finnegan, I want you both on the show.
2019. We're
Handcrafted
coming for
2019,
you.
though.
we'll talk about that next year. Let's
Yeah,
go.
sorry, next year. Sorry. But yes, so he competed against, I think, 5 of other Plymouth, very well-known Plymouth bartenders that have been in the industry for the while.
Chris
for a
Almeida,
while.
also Bartalk
Bartalk alumni. Very, very good.
We have
And
Mark
then-
from Malabar. We had Luna. We had...
We're talking about people who have had as guests.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sorry.
judges were Brenna Bean of Pillory.
She was
Pub.
a judge, yeah.
Yep. We had Pumpkin, who was one of the message relayers with Sarah when we did
Also
our
the
show
laugh
here
track.
a year ago.
Yeah,
And
laugh
laugh track
track.
expert, absolutely.
/ message deliverer.
Yep.
Pete
Pete
Burgess.
Burgess, who sponsored it along with his wife Shannon from Poor Guys, and
We had Stefan from
Dirty Water.
Dirty Water,
absolutely.
who also donated a bunch of liquor for that event. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, Dirty Water is a local distillery in Plymouth. We're very lucky to have a lot of good local products, and that is one of them. So yeah, that was pretty wild. And I remember Matt going into it, and if you listen to the podcast that Tissot was on, he's sort of nonchalant, like like I take my job seriously, but I don't really think about it that much. And then he came into the competition, kind of like, I'm just doing it for fun, and pretty much dominated. It was pretty awesome. And
Also wearing a long sleeve shirt, like heavy shirt, and it's like 90, 100 degrees out cooking in that. Like, that's
I
dedication
offered
right
him
there.
like 5 different t-shirts.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
like, nope.
any color you want.
He's wearing his brand, the Matt
I don't
Tissot
want to hear
brands.
about that shit. I hosted that event, and I wore a tweed fucking sports coat half the
compared
time.
to
You
previous
wore it for,
years,
like,
you
10
dressed
minutes.
I
appropriately.
did okay. I wore it for 10 minutes, but it was still way more. Marijuana was legalized recreationally recently this year too. I haven't felt any effects from that bartending wise, but
It's not close yet.
Because
That's
you've been
why.
smoking for years.
well, my food sales went up like crazy.
Like, man, I just got back from Western Mass, and I'm hungry as a mother.
Well, you got a bunch of opening up locally in the next couple months, so that's
Yeah.
great.
That's true.
Wareham, I think, is the next one.
I heard Walpole, but
Walpole?
I mean, I'm
One
not,
of
Right
those
next
I'm
to
not
the
a
prison. That's
scientist.
really
yeah.
good. That's a good idea.
One of those W's.
Yeah,
This is the old guy.
work
We're gonna
release,
chill
call
some
work
of these
release.
guys out. They're gonna be too lazy to try to escape now, man. It's gonna be
That's
awesome.
right.
It's gonna be everything's gonna be a low security prison now. Just gonna micro dose
Just keep it
everybody.
in indica. It's fine.
Dude, the local beer scene is fucking blown up this year.
Yeah,
It really has. And I don't know if listeners outside of South Coast, South Shore, North Shore, even anywhere in Massachusetts or the New England area are experiencing this, but I'm assuming so because the sort of giant beer companies that are shipping their beer, 1,000 miles across the country is starting to slow down a little bit, and you're starting to see these little local breweries, pop-up breweries opening up and making really, really good stuff. And then the breweries that have been here for a long time, making local stuff, kind of competing with the big guys, are finally getting like the additional love they deserve, where people are like, you know what, I'm tired of drinking this shit that's been sitting in a cooler. And it might be a good beer, but it's been sitting on a truck for 2 weeks, and they want the fresh stuff, and they want to know and meet the people like Sarah from Mayflower and stuff like that, and the local breweries are really blowing up.
And there's a whole stipulation that goes on with, we're heading January, we'll be into our 11th year, and we get a lot of people who think that we're part of like the bigger clan. Like, we have the age, but we're still a small craft brewery. So it's really great that we have the capacity to kind of do new things. I mean, all of you guys, Dan, Karl, Jordan, you've seen all the different products we have coming out, and we have something new coming out all the time, and it's just a great time to be in craft beer. Keep it small, keep it local, and keep it fresh.
New tasting room.
10-year
anniversary.
I've had a lot to say that went into the room, and for those of you, this is coming out after Christmas, but I'm sure you guys have all walked in and seen it all, and I decorated it myself.
I mean, you have to leave it up for a little
There's
bit.
tables and chairs. What the hell did you decorate?
Come on, man, this wreath.
Did you see that? Yeah, this wreath.
The beer can
glittering
wreath?
Jordan.
Oh, yeah, that's
My
very
Christmas
nice.
tree. It took me about 3 hours to decorate that thing.
This tasting room is like brand new, and I was talking to Sarah about it earlier today. There's something about it where, and I'm not knocking a lot of breweries. You go to a brewery, you're going to be in a brewery. It's going to feel industrial. It's going to be a lot of stainless. It's going to be cold. It's going to be wide open. There's something about Mayflower, man, where they redid their tasting room, and it's cozy. It's intimate. The beer's always fresh. There's like the same cast of characters working here all the time.
Oh, you got Jimmy Stickney's Shining Face, Pumpkin.
Also alumni.
Pumpkin. Yep. Layla doing all kinds of crazy poses and yoga stuff.
Yeah, doing her yoga stuff. Sometimes randomly, like she just hops up on the bar.
Yeah.
Controller.
Coyote Ugly, but like with yoga.
Billy,
yeah.
Billy's been here for years.
Coyote really ugly.
One of our original staff members.
Yep. Yeah, and it's just, it's a great community feel over here, and you guys are celebrating 10 years in business. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We started our 11th year now.
Yeah, we started our 10-year anniversary with our 10-year Imperial Stout, and we've ended it with it. We kind of re-released it, so if you guys get a chance to have it, hopefully you have, because it's going to be gone in a matter of days.
That's an awesome thing, too, is like when all these, like I talked about when I first went into like the new brewery rant, is a lot of new breweries popping up and stuff like that, and like there's a hype behind it, and you would think like a brewery that's been around for a little while might, you guys I feel like are like rallying with that, like you're like almost leading the charge. This place got like another boost over the last few years. Like you guys are new tasting room, bunch of new beers, up in the staff, it's a lot of events going on, so there's a lot of freshness.
Yeah.
A lot of freshness going on over here. It's awesome. You guys are doing what you can, not only in your product, which is good, but staying relevant and staying in the game.
I would say these guys are picking up the slack of the actual Mayflower boat not being here. So you can't see that Mayflower. You should come see this Mayflower.
That's a good point.
They Google Mayflower, and I either get calls about booking hotel rooms, or I get calls about when they can go on a boat tour. So
Right.
like I have beer, and they're like, schedule me in.
If you have enough, you'll think you're on a boat.
I'll sway left and right, make you get that feel.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, just get everybody, just snap your fingers and everybody behind the bar.
Play some seagull sounds throughout there.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it.
There you go.
Seagulls.
Little sleep machines.
I had a bunch of like teachers in Speedwell yesterday that laughed and they sounded like seagull. Anyway. What else?
2018. We talked about things that we've gained and things that we've won. What about people we've lost? Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain. Especially being a restaurant industry based podcast, man. That was a big hit. That was a big hit. I mean, like him, love him, hate him. Anthony Bourdain was a huge influence on how people not really involved in the industry sort of look at the industry, and he shed light sort of on the vagrancy and the
Debauchery.
And the underbelly of the restaurant industry, and in a way really glorified sort of the grittiness and the ugliness and the greasiness of this industry. I don't think he deserves as much credit as Guy Fieri personally, but I'm a civilian of Flavortown personally. But,
taking many a trip down there, many a road trip.
See, I'm more of an Alton Brown kind of guy.
I don't know who that is. So
you don't know who Alton Brown is?
Listen,
Alton Brown is my favorite too.
Well, I don't sell food, so I don't know these things.
So Alton Brown's like the food scientist. He's my favorite as well. Yeah, Good Eats was the best show on Cooking Network, but he's still alive, so we're not going to talk about him.
No,
don't jinx him.
But Anthony Bourdain, if you haven't read Kitchen Confidential and you're working for the restaurant industry or you just have a general interest in it, pick it up. I'm sure it's priced double now that he's dead, but on Amazon that means it's like $6. So
you can probably find it for free on
Trust me, give it a shot. It's an easy read, and not every restaurant's this way, and not every chef goes through what he goes through, but you can see why so many people related to him, and it's a big loss.
My grandmother always said, when somebody dies, somebody's born. Now, there must have been somebody born in 2018 that had a little special meaning for us.
I don't think so.
Are you talking about Snarls Barkley? We already talked about Snarls Barkley.
Yeah, he's not allowed in my kitchen yet, but
nope.
She. Whoa.
For those that don't know, and maybe this is their first podcast that they're listening, Jordan had a son.
I did. I squeezed them out. My wife was there to watch.
Hold your hand through
February 17th, 2018. We had a beautiful baby boy, Joel Harrison Shabbat. And if you follow me on Facebook, then I'm sure you've already blocked me because I post pictures every 3 seconds of him. But yeah, no, he's a little badass. We'll have him washing dishes sometime this year. Hopefully soon. Labor's getting expensive. He's stopped pushing his weight.
Next podcast next year.
Yeah, we'll have him on the podcast next year.
Well, I mean, last Saturday when you guys were in, he gave me a whole restructuring on how the business should run. Yeah, no, he's really been like diving into the books. He reads a lot of Goodnight Moon and Brown Bear. Yeah, he's really excelling. So hopefully he moves out soon. But yeah,
starts pulling his weight at least a little bit.
Starts pulling his weight a little bit.
Rent's going up next year. So.
Had a baby boy. Haven't been really present this year. Dan's been picking up a lot of my slack. Karl's been showing up. So I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. But he's growing up. So hopefully he'll be on the podcast soon. We'll see. But Speedwell celebrated its 5th year anniversary.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's, we all celebrated anniversaries this year, but I think 5 years is a big one. Especially when I came into town, it was tough, man. We had a lot of people that were already established. And Sarah just notified me. Very well done. You're keeping your note passing going on. BBC 21.
We're officially allowed to drink in all countries now.
21 years.
Yeah,
I'm bragging about 5 years.
Listen,
I could wipe my own ass. Well, guess what? I'm old enough to drink.
You can come see the old shipboards from the original Mayflower in our rafters at BBC, and you get creeks just like it. So definitely come see some history.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I got some crazy memories from this year. Just in general, the podcast has been rad. Just the St. Patrick's Day falling on a Saturday. Karl brought it up earlier as like a topic to bring up, and that was wild. That was one of the craziest weekends I've had in a long time.
It's great for customers. Not so great when you're working.
Oh.
Because after, I'd say, maybe noon, 1 o'clock, there's not a sober person that walks into your bar.
And nobody knows that no means no.
Oh, no. Well, they do because they can't play that Christmas song anymore.
It's true.
Oh, yeah. True.
I'm going to be honest, like, irresponsibly, that's kind of like the one time of the year where I'm like, I say no, and then they say yes, and I'm like, all right, well, I don't fucking care. You're just going to mix in with all the other assholes. I don't care.
What's one more asshole?
Yeah, what's one more asshole?
Really, because they come over to my place and I say no, but Speedwell will do it.
Yo, welcome.
I know where me and
No, but it was crazy,
next,
especially being on a Saturday where everybody's out. But boy, what a difference St. Patrick's on a Monday or Tuesday from when it makes it on a Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Holy God.
that all-day crowd is
It's
a
all day
lot
long.
bigger.
It's not a national holiday. That's the
all.
thing. Like there are some people that have to go to work that day.
Yeah.
They don't have sick days.
Right.
They don't have, you know what I mean?
But more importantly, the day after they have to go to work.
Correct. Another good point, Dan. Like, and when it falls on a Saturday where you know everybody has that day off, and then everybody has Sunday off, like, you know, that don't work in the industry. You know what I mean? The restaurant industry. Yeah, that was much more than I was expecting.
Yep.
You can only fit so many people.
Yep.
I think
But they
Carl's
all
got the
came in.
biggest space.
They all came in.
Right.
All day long.
Yeah, that was something else. You know, it looked almost as busy as the day when my water main broke for 2 days straight, and you, for some reason, next door to me still had water.
Yeah, we had the water because, you know, now that we're on the same side of the street as the new town hall, things seem to be a lot better.
They
amazing
work
how it
better,
works
yeah.
Outside
Yeah.
of the street.
Isn't
So
that
I don't know.
amazing?
I
No
don't know if it
connection.
has anything to do. But,
So for those of you listening, at least
and actually, I think you're incorrect on that. It's not when your water main broke. It was when your power was out.
Ooh, that was a fun weekend. And by fun, I mean
that
fucking
was-
terrible.
that was even worse.
That was the even
So-
better. I was going to say, but
Little backstory for the people listening. So I'll go back to the water main, and then I'll go into the power outage. So anyone from New England, at least from Massachusetts, might remember in the end of the summer, there were just random places blowing up, I think in Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Andover.
Yeah, North
There
Andover
were
and all
some
that.
gas line issues, so then Eversource, the local power company, I don't care if you don't drink at my fucking place.
It's Columbia.
anyway.
We'll
Fuck
call the
you.
right ones out.
Yeah, so they started redoing all these old gas lines. Well, in Plymouth, it's literally the oldest town besides, I think, Jamestown, right? Like the oldest.
It's the oldest town in the world.
It's
Yeah.
the oldest town in the world, right?
Yeah, I don't know
in,
the
in the
world.
country.
In the country.
Maybe
Yeah.
in our
In the
small
country.
worlds here.
In our world.
Yeah, now we're
It's an old town. So they don't have any maps. Like they don't know where any of the fucking pipes are. And they're just like digging up the street to fix these gas lines. And they just keep hitting water mains. So we'll be like in the middle of a huge rush on a Saturday at the Speedwell. And some reason when they hit these water mains, it only affects the BBC and Speedwell Tavern.
And Main Street Sports.
And Main Street Sports. And Craft Beer Cellar, friend of the show, Tatum Stewart. So Karl got an understandably large boost of business.
Well, when you're the only one open on the street, it helps.
You weren't the only one open on the street, but yes. So that happened this year 3 times.
Yep.
Thanks
2
to blind
weeks.
digging. What's that?
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, thank you.
I got to see what the people at the Old Faithful Geyser witnessed, but on Main Street in Plymouth. So
Yeah.
not that exciting when it affects your day.
No, absolutely not. It straight up was a geyser shooting out of Main Street in Plymouth, like downtown Plymouth. But to Carl's point, even worse, there was a storm. I think it was late January.
It was March.
Yeah,
Was it March?
Yeah,
March.
early March.
Early March.
Man, that thing was rough. It was wind with a touch of ice, very cold, but mostly kind of like a hurricane.
It was like
Yep.
100-mile-an-hour winds,
Yep,
I want to
wasn't any
say.
snow, but it was all the trees were down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And who lost power? Main Street Sports,
Yep.
British Beer Company.
Well, not
Craft
only
Beer
that,
Cellar.
not only that, that was just Plymouth, but all the surrounding towns, nobody had power.
Nobody had
Yeah.
power. But some reason,
Everybody
the
had
beacon
the
light,
New World Town
fire the
had power.
beacons.
Carl's deal with the
Has nothing to
devil
do with
came
it.
through again.
Yeah.
Town hall
Jesus
being right next to us.
Christ.
But
You know, Carl, we should plan out a collaborative thing every time there's a big storm that comes through because we don't lose power either.
Are you connected to the hospital? What's going on?
And,
There's a dentist office next
Yeah.
door. I go there.
No, the town realizes how vital our equipment is.
beer
That's
make it. I
I'm
mean,
vital. I plug people up with chicken.
listen, how did we
Yeah, I
survive? We
plugged them
spent
up
the
with
time in the
power
bar
and
waiting
heater.
for the water, the power to come back on. So, it was vital.
And I kind of remember you saying, geez, I hope the power doesn't come back on because I've had 13 beers and I don't want to go back to work.
I didn't say 13. I said 12.
Maybe I was giving you the 13th at that
Yeah, it might have been on.
Carl, it was
I didn't
12,
drink it yet.
13%
Yeah,
alcohol.
we wanted to. Every beer we had that weekend was well deserved.
But, you know, there's in 2018, and this is a great segue, we started doing a little different version of the podcast, and we took on our listeners' questions,
Yeah.
which some of them are very, very good, and some of the not so good.
The names have been just as good as the questions.
The names have been
say.
better than the questions. No, I agree.
That's to keep anonymity.
Yeah, and Eminem.
Eminem?
Yeah, the rapper.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He did stuff to say too.
Yeah. Should get him on.
I was more of a Vanilla Ice guy, but that's all right.
I really liked the interaction with the people that listen to the show, because what we may think is interesting, like, which we think everything we say is interesting,
Pretty much.
isn't at all. And, you know, hearing questions from them, at least we can insult them and let them know that what they're saying isn't interesting as well.
I still say if you have Fruit Loop flavored vodka, you should burn your bar down. But hey.
Dude, you know what's wicked funny about that, Dan? Things that happened in 2018. When I walked into the Speedwell Tavern today, I walked in the front door, and I always pick up the trash on the ground. There was a nip of Fruit Loop vodka sitting on
It was
my
from,
ramp
I
today.
can't remember that person's name, but it was from them, Jordan, sending you a message.
Yeah, here's the deal.
Keep your nips at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another show.
We can do
It's a
that.
whole other show.
We had a lot of guests on this year.
We did.
We were doing a lot more. We were doing a guest almost, I think we were doing a guest every single episode when we started.
Right.
We got away from that a little bit, kind of just focused on more on topics.
Well, we
but-
ran out of people. Nobody wanted to do it.
Yeah, well, rightfully so.
We focused on us, guys. On
We
us.
did.
But, you know, the people
It's all
that we've
about
had
betterment.
in
Yeah.
were people that we thought were maybe a little quiet that turned out not so quiet.
Correct.
And the people that we thought would really add a lot were very quiet.
Yeah.
So you just, you put a microphone in front of somebody and you just don't know what to expect.
I think the coolest part was sort of, I think we had a good eclectic difference across the board from everybody, though. Because of that. Like, we expected someone to come in and talk about bar, and we're like, oh shit, this person knows a lot about this. And then they took off on a tangent. An example was, we had Chris Almeida on, who was he's the mixologist in town, and he's worked at these bars all over the place. But he just started, like, going off about music, and he was definitely baked out of his mind. So, like, the weed thing, you got contact high listening to it, and that was a bonus.
Yep.
And we didn't charge anybody for that. And, we brought in, was that the same time? We brought in Jimmy Stickney. And, Jimmy, we thought because, everybody goofs on Jimmy. He says he's a scene kid, but we thought he was going to talk more about music because we were pairing him up with Jay Kill. But he came in and he represented Mayflower Brewery and brought this whole other perspective of how the beer is brewed and how much pride he has in the beer and stuff. The way Sarah's been bringing it, and it was we had some surprising guests on.
That podcast
honestly.
made me really happy. I mean, Jimmy, he came in as a part-time employee. He then switched over to being a driver, and then, wanted to come into the tasting room. And honest to God, I have nothing to worry about with that kid working here. And just listening to that podcast, I'm like, every single worry I've ever had in my life is just out
And
the
then you
door.
get the sales manager, Jeff Nardone, behind the microphone. All he wants to fucking talk about is rolling dice.
That
That's
gambling.
why I was there to
Wait a
hand
minute,
a
that
note.
was 2017.
That was
so we don't have-
2017.
Oh, that's right. We don't call that. I'm sorry, Jeff.
New year,
I'm
new
sorry.
Jeff,
Unfair
right?
jab. Unfair jab.
I can see where you got confused because we were talking about the 10-year anniversary party for Mayflower, which was in January, that he didn't know anything about.
Shots fired.
Let's
Love you, Jeff. Love you, Jeff.
Let's
Love you,
go over.
Jeff.
Let's go over some of these questions that our favorite questions from 2018.
We got some?
Some-
My favorite is Andy paying attention?
Definitely not.
Andy, along with Fish from Inebria, who produced this show, they're the lovely background voices that you hear very often. Not really Fish. He doesn't talk much.
He's a
just
strong
wait.
silent
Can I read the
type.
questions now?
I didn't know you were going to be that fucking quick. I was trying to give you some buffer, dude. Yeah, go ahead. Take the mic.
All right. Sorry about that. So this one's from Jonathan Orlando. He said, would you rather large parties or deuces all night? I assume that's two people?
Two tops.
Is that Johnny Utah's fucking like boy?
Give me two.
I didn't even listen to the question.
Do you want?
Jesus, if you guys aren't going to pay attention to the
I
show.
see.
All right.
All right.
I got
Ask
you.
the question again.
Okay.
What did Johnny
This is
Bloom say?
Jonathan Orlando. Would you rather large parties or deuces all night?
Oh, deuces.
Like when you're not feeling good?
Deuces all day, dude. Deuces all day. Large parties, I don't know. Well, Speedwell's got a limited
Depends where you
space.
work, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends where you work. I would say Deuces just because
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough question.
I just feel like large parties don't turn over as quick.
Well, like, what's a large party? Is it a 6?
I would say it's
Or is it
6
a
and
12
up.
top?
I would say 6 and
I
up
say
for
8
me.
and up. So.
Because it's
Eight
tough
up,
having a
6 not
restaurant
that
where, almost every table is set up for 4 people and there's 2 people at every table.
That's me.
So it looks like you're crowded, but you're really not. You're full because there's no extra tables,
But you're half
you
full.
only have a restaurant there.
Right.
Big parties I don't mind unless there are a ton of big parties. Then obviously that's a strain on the kitchen because you're putting 12 orders in and then 12 orders in and then 12 orders in, and then you put a table of 2 in. Well, they're 36 tickets behind already.
Right.
So that kind of puts it's a tough thing for the kitchen to come out with faster where, there's 36, that's 18 tables of 2 that I could have came out in the same time.
I don't want to speak for Orlando Bloom, but I don't know if he's coming from an owner's perspective or a server's
I
perspective.
think he's coming from server's perspective.
So if you were a server,
All
because
right.
I agree, because I think Karl's owner's perspective, I agree with him 100%. But if you were a server, would you rather have big groups or a bunch of small groups?
Big groups.
I think smaller.
No.
It all depends where you
You
work,
wait on
man.
that
I've had
table at
some
12,
jobs where
you
it's
make-
like 2 tops are awesome, and I've had someone like, oh, cool, I'm going to make $14. So
Right.
I think I probably lean more to the big groups, too.
True, because you can get as much sales done at one spot.
In one
instead
spot.
of running
You get
all over
that
the
bigger
place.
tip from that one person.
But it's the
You've swayed
turnover
me.
because now you have a bunch of tables that you push together. Because that's my thing with the brewery, which again, Dan, maybe you can feed into this a little bit, but like not having food. Yeah, they're coming in and they're drinking. They cashed out, and now they're still occupying a space
then you
because
gotta
they
be-
might have
you
brought
gotta
in.
all right, you cashed out. See you later.
Well,
doesn't
yeah, I'm
work
not
that
going
way.
to do that though. But
But that's what you should.
I have told
Things
people we
you
have
wish
people
you
that-
could say. We should do
but-
that for a fucking podcast.
Sometimes they're not really willing to leave because now they're planning out like they either haven't seen each other in a long time or they're planning their next spot, and now they're occupying, a 16 area space.
Right.
That I have a bunch of people standing there glaring at them because there's no drinks on
Yeah,
the
no,
table.
you got to be a little more adamant, saying, "Hey, see you later."
Oh, well, that's usually when I go over and clear out
You
the
send
table,
me
and
a-
I'm like, hey, just
It's
so
not
you know.
clear on the table. It's saying,
I agree
hey,
with her, though.
Gotta leave.
That's
You
a little bit
can't
harder at a
push.
place
You
that doesn't
can't
have food. It's not like you just finished your meal. It's like, well, no, I just had 3 or 4 beers. I kind of want to even out before I drive.
they'll
So
stand
what do you
around
say to them?
Right.
You got to get out of here. Well, no, I just had 3 beers. I kind of want to chill for a little bit before I get behind the wheel. And you're gonna be like, okay, I can't force
So
you
we'll
to
go.
get behind
We'll
the
go
wheel.
both.
Yeah,
is the
I think
answer
it's
to
a
the question.
neither here nor there. It's
It's
they
a
are
neither
what they
here
are.
nor there.
Situational.
So once again, you get no clear answer from the bartender.
After about 10 minutes, there's no answer.
We plead the fifth.
Good,
on
a
that
good
one.
question.
No, we said both.
Both is an answer. All right, so this person, I'm going to leave their name off. And she says, so I need opinions. I started this place, and the ladies that are training are being bitches.
Yeah.
And I am the youngest. They're literally trying to find a reason to get me in trouble. What do you think?
First off, I want to know what her name is. No, I'm only kidding.
Welcome to the workforce.
I mean,
Well, you got to stick up for yourself.
well, it's that. You just go, look, do you really want to work
No,
there?
I don't
That's
think you
right.
I don't think you stick up for yourself.
Oh, sure you do. Or it's just not the place for you.
Yeah, that's
no,
what I'm
I think.
thinking.
I don't think you necessarily stick up for yourself right away. I think you work. You let your work ethic show first, and then if that's not enough, then you stick up for yourself. If you
but
go
if these-
right into it,
If these bitches are trying to get her in trouble,
well, that's her opinion. If she thinks they're
maybe
bitches,
it's
but
a
maybe
fact. How do you know?
I don't know, but I'm saying from what I understand, getting into a place, especially if it's like a bartending position, getting into a place, and I'm not saying it's acceptable, but people will be people that have been in a place, they're cliquey, and if they have the idea in their head, first of all, maybe they don't like their manager, the manager hired you, it's
Right.
not your fault, but they're taking it out on
But
you.
what is she going to do to?
Work hard. Work hard first. Don't come in ball of fire and act like you've been there forever. Come in,
Well-
work, do your job, train, work for a couple of weeks, and if it doesn't stop, if they don't get to know you and see that you're working hard and they're still treating you like shit, then you start sticking up for yourself. But if you do it right off the rip, they're going to be like, oh, she's defiant too, she's not a good fit, and then you're just, even if they're wrong, you're putting yourself in a
She's
bad
being
position.
bullied.
She's being bullied, but you gotta handle it for a little while.
There's so many layers to this conversation, and I probably shouldn't get into it.
Oh, good. Next question.
Honestly, I think you got to look at it as like, if you're going to go to work and be miserable the whole time, you can find another
Doesn't
job.
matter what's going on.
But you can't just make that assumption right off the rip.
No, you put your time.
These
the
girls
question
might
that
be
she's saying.
These girls might be hazing. How long? So what did she say? She just started, and she just
Read
started
the
training.
question. Couple weeks.
You got to stick it out for a couple weeks, because if you don't got thick enough skin to stick it through that,
Right. Then it's not the job.
then it's not the job for you. So
Exactly.
stick it out. Stick it out. If you
Yeah, I
want
don't
that,
mean quit your
if you
second
like
day,
the place
but-
and you just don't like the people right now, stick it out for a couple more weeks. Take the hazing. It's like joining a fraternity or a sorority. Just take it for now, because those people have worked together for a while now. They're not just going to accept anybody in to split tips with. Trust,
Hazing
alcohol.
is not socially acceptable.
It's not technically hazing, though. It's just like they're being bitches. What? Because they're not hugging you and inviting you to their sleepovers?
It's not
Go
necessarily
in, do
that
your job.
extreme, Jordan.
It could not even be that extreme. Just go in, do your job, suck it up. If in a couple of weeks it continues after they get to know you and know that you have good work ethic, then leave the place or bring it up to management. But you got to suck it up, man, while you're training. If you got a little
So
bit
the
of
answer to that question is suck it up.
suck it
Not
up.
suck it up.
Next
okay,
question.
so here's my response to that, as it seeming to be a female in a female environment.
So why is it female and female?
Because
Well, they
that's-
said it was.
yeah.
Oh, did they?
I didn't say what the girl's name was.
They didn't, yeah.
I didn't say it was a
They don't know.
girl.
But either way,
Damn it.
I've worked in those environments. You walk in, live your life, do your job, do what you need to do, and then when it's their insecurities, when they decide they're not going to be that insecure and they're going to let you into the inner circle, just go with it. It's
Sorry, so you're-
don't make a problem for yourself. Just blend in, live your
accept
life.
being bullied is what you're saying.
Well,
great.
Temporarily.
That's great.
if it gets to be
Good.
3 months in, women are vicious.
Oh, I know. I'm married to one.
If you get
Glad she said it.
if you get to be so far in, they're
Not
so
about you,
bullying
Jen.
you,
I love
then
you.
there's an issue in that company, and it might be time to separate yourself. But
That's all
time
I'm saying.
being,
What Sarah
yeah.
said, but with more of a
don't start a
perspective
problem
from
for
it.
yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be that person that's
Right.
a whistleblower. Don't be that person that's going to start an issue. Just
Don't stoop to their level.
live your life. Don't stoop to their level. Just know that sometimes you just need to wait it out.
I
Persevere.
think prison
Carl,
rules punch the
put that
biggest
up.
person in the face.
You really can do that
Yeah.
by continuing and doing what you want to
All right,
do.
next
No,
question,
I really,
for Christ's
really
sakes.
punched him in the
I think
face.
it's a good one. Sorry, Carl, you don't relate, man. But
No, I relate.
All right. So this one is from Tahir Jackson, and he asks, when the phone rings and you're the only one near.
Did he to hear it?
he sat on that for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I did. And you're the only one near it, but you just got a double sat and are currently getting drinks for your first table. What would you do?
Don't answer the phone.
Walk away from that goddamn phone. I'm the owner of the place and I do that.
That's right.
Oh my god!
If you can't get your ass off the couch to get to the restaurant to order your food, then you're going to be the last of the priority. I'm sorry, I love takeout sales.
But it's not. It might not be a takeout. It might be
telemarketer.
telemarketer. It could be a stupid question.
Yeah, the phone. I'm sorry, the people that are in the building are the priority. Your coworkers,
That's right.
the customers sitting at your
Let
table.
the phone ring.
Let the phone ring. They'll call back.
That's right.
Do you know how many times I've run out of my bar to go outside to hear a phone just to have it be someone not calling me? It's like, that's it. And I was like, all right, it's too busy. I don't answer the phone anymore.
Waste of time.
Random segue. How many times have you guys rushed to the phone? Like, literally, like, separated yourself and ran to the phone, and it's Google.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, your Google listing.
Well, you can improve
You're-
your listing. And
Yep.
Yeah.
You have been pre-approved.
Do you want solar panels?
Yeah, you just got double sat and you're back and you're in the weeds.
Yep,
You
don't
get
answer the
caught
phone.
up. You don't answer that phone.
Don't answer the phone.
If your manager's telling you otherwise, then your manager should
Then
be
tell
there
the manager
answering
to answer
phone.
the goddamn
Yeah,
phone.
thank
Yep.
you.
Don't yell at me, Carl.
I didn't.
Very
Yeah, but Carl's looking me right in the eye like it's my fault.
Stop calling Andy. Stop calling.
So, kind of on that same theme about communication, this question comes from Andy Driscoll. Why do restaurant owners not answer emails except for the biggest Luddite of them all, Karl Heine?
Well, because I like you.
That's cute.
No, I'm surprised you say that.
Aw.
Why an owner? I can understand why an owner or a manager or somebody in charge would not answer an email because it's spam or something stupid or, maybe it's already passed. What band's playing tonight, and you get the email the next day. But yeah, why people won't answer emails? I don't understand that.
So, hypothetically speaking, if you run a art group that is restaurant, distillery, brewery based, and you reach out to restaurants, I have literally gotten almost zero back except from Karl. So it's almost, I feel a little dirty because I feel like I complimented Karl. Sorry.
This is like 2 podcasts.
No, I
already,
like
man.
this
Compliments.
question, and I'm gonna put myself on the.
But is it
Sword here.
let me just put it in context. Is it a first contact kind of email, or are you following up? With
Sometimes, but not always.
something? Okay.
It's hard to follow up when they don't get back to you.
Great way to elaborate, Karl. If it's a first contact kind of email, probably 0 to 5% I respond. The reason being is the volume of emails I get in that sort of sense
Wording,
dilutes
too.
and devalues that kind of cold call. It's not even a cold call; it's cold email. But cold calls are even worse. Because
But I think you're different because, from Andy's point of view, he's trying to do an event at a bar or restaurant.
Right, but
if my place has that event space, yours doesn't. So if he's trying to
True.
if he knows that that place is, he's not going to do an inebriate at the BBC in downtown Plymouth because there's just not enough room.
But that's hyper specific.
Yeah, we are.
That's super specific.
But what I'm saying is, if somebody's sending you that email and you want to fill that back room, you're going to answer that because you have the space.
If I have the
that's
back
what you have.
Right, and I want to use that space.
And you
as
want to
long
use
as
that
I'm
space
open.
up. So now all of a sudden
Correct.
you're intrigued because there's another
But
avenue.
let's
that
put
you
a
can
couple
do.
layers just back on the onion in general between bands, charity events, road races, dude, you name it. There are, I get at least 10 a week. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but on top of managing a staff, managing this, managing that, sometimes it's just the value of an email, whether no matter how personalized it is, goes down because you get so many.
Let me ask you this question. I like the way the question was posed about emails.
Mm-hmm.
Would you answer if it was Facebook?
He likes it because I complimented him.
I think the best way to approach something like that is don't ask someone you don't know. If you're, hear me out. So if you're a freak, you gave me a look. Carl's giving me a bunch of looks right now. If you're a frequent person of Speedwell in just your casual, off punched out work life, and you come in and you're like, hey, I come here once every week or once every 2 weeks or once a month even, and you're generally a familiar face, someone in the building that works for me knows you, you're more apt to either have your band play, have an event there, have me donate to your charity, than sending me an email and I've never made face to the name. You can't just trust anyone to just post up in your place and have an event. Like, you gotta
No, I guess the question was if somebody sends you an email and you don't get back to them.
Yep.
Is it the same thing with if somebody sends you a Facebook?
I think it's
Message.
it's the
I
way
hate
it's
Facebook
Would you get
messages.
back to the person on
No,
Facebook?
it would be
I'm-
both. It's both.
So you treat both even.
I would say email, I'm a little less harsh on. When they go to my personal Facebook and email me about my business, because I have if they're going to my business Facebook page.
Let's
then
call it the business Facebook
Okay,
page.
then in that case, I'd say it's about even.
With emails and Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's,
Personal stuff.
If we haven't
is
talked
out.
in person for at least 10 seconds and you're sending me a message on email or Facebook, then I just don't have time. If we've met in person by chance or because you're coming into my place, which is the best way to meet me, then you have a better chance. If it's my personal Facebook or my personal email, then you have zero chance because you backdoored it, and that pisses me off. So.
Yep. Yeah. If I don't know you and you're sending me a personal Facebook message,
Yeah.
Well, outside of that, you have people who word emails where it seems like spam up front.
Yeah, they call me Jared. I get
Or
more
you get-
Jared and Justin emails than you literally, my email is jordanshab28@gmail.com for anybody that wants to send me an email titled Jared. But they say that to my email, and sorry to interrupt, but subject, Justin, comma, would love to have my indie pop band play at your place. And I'm like,
Well, at least you read it. Like, I see, Sarah spelled without an H at the end, and I'm like, delete.
correct,
See ya.
correct,
Done.
exactly.
No, but
Do you have an
seriously.
H in the end of their name?
Carl.
I just thought it was.
Carl has one too.
Carl wrote my name right on my last Valentine. It's fine. No, No, but
Wrong person, but that's okay. Got the name right.
You get those emails where, and to touch on the Facebook thing, if you're sending me a Facebook message on my personal Facebook, I'm not going to respond to it. You know, I have a couple people that I do, because that's just a convenient way of chatting. But when you have somebody sitting there messaging you that you have no idea who they are, it's going into my, like, we're not friends category, whatever. I don't look at that. Send it to the email. Send it to the business.
Right.
But if you're going to send something to the business, don't do hello craft brewery or hello, restaurant. You got to make it more personalized, or you're just going to get overlooked. I delete more emails from people who are just sending a mass email. I've gotten ones that say the complete wrong business name.
They email you about taking boat tours, right?
I get those.
I'm going to come clean here, too. There's a lot of times I get emails, and I'm not perfect, man. Sometimes I just don't feel like it.
I forget.
Well,
That's
you
all
will
it is.
find.
It's like
I'll get an
I'll
email
open it
like-
up and I will start to write you like, "Hey, Andy," and then I'll
Yep.
never send it to you and completely forget. So
It's my personal email because they asked the bartender, and I've talked to them before, and I just forgot meeting them, and they're like, "Hey, Jordan, good time talking to you the other day, and here's the party I was thinking about doing 8 months from now, and da 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 da." And it's really important to them 8 months from now because it's the one thing they got going on.
Well, you flag
Like,
it, but it might be a week later. that you
exactly,
get it.
and it might even be a month later because it's
Yep.
8 months later, and I'm just like, but the easiest thing I could do is just respond and say, "Hey, man, totally cool, nice meeting you as well. I'll get back to you as soon as possible." But I don't even do that
Yeah,
sometimes.
then, yeah, right, yeah.
And then that way, I totally admit, man, that's my fault, and I do that a lot too.
Well, the best emails is the people reaching out to ask you a question during, like, Thanksgiving week
yeah.
or something like that, and it's like,
They call it 5 o'clock. Oh,
2
3
days
o'clock
later
on
they send you
parade
another
day.
email. It's like,
I get the
don't have
Facebook-
time.
Yeah.
Facebook, you get a message on Facebook, and then 10 minutes later, they're like, "Hello, is anybody reading these?"
Right.
I'm like,
right.
"No,
Send it to the business
we're
page.
working."
But if you have your Facebook page open and those are popping up, then it's showing that you've read it. And that's why they think that, and that's another thing that's
Oh.
dangerous about the Facebook thing is if you're on your computer or your phone and you got it open and they send a message, then it says read underneath it and they're like, well, he read it. How come he's not responding right this
what a
second?
dickhead.
All right, next question.
Sorry, go all day on that.
That's all right. I wasn't
We know
expecting.
it's hot
I wasn't
topic.
expecting such a
Very hot topic.
big response.
Thanks.
Damn Andy Driscoll.
Yeah, that guy.
Message us again. Good question.
All right, I'll send an email again.
Facebook message.
It's a pain in the ass. I have to email my own podcast. All right, this one comes from Amy Constant. Constant.
To know.
Sure. Does your restaurant /bar have something that makes it special? A drink, a decor, a gimmick? I want to know.
We hire this guy that works at a bar across the street to come hang out and freak all the bartenders out named Karl, and he's just entertaining as hell.
If
No,
you're,
I
That's
got
the nicest thing you've ever said about
here's
me.
the thing: if
I
you're a
know,
bar,
it really
restaurant,
is. I immediately felt gross.
You called me entertaining.
Karl,
Well,
what's
everybody has to have their
You have
their
to.
stick, because if you don't, then you're gonna get lost.
Yep.
And whether it's 42 lines of beer or, a
guy with a
hundreds
wine
of dollars,
shirt.
yeah, hundreds of dollars of bottles of wine, or the most tequila in town, the best food. Maybe it's just a burger
you.
bar and you're famous for your burgers, for your
Thank
chicken
you.
wings, anything.
Thank you.
Snarls Barkley.
Keep going. Keep
Barkley.
going. What else you got?
But it's got to be something to
Attractive
set
owner.
you apart from everybody else, because if
Great
not, you're just going to
decor.
get lost.
Yep.
Yep.
Could be
Just
music,
the right
it could
amount
be
of
anything.
seats.
It
Yep.
could be
Good
anything.
music. Yeah.
be
Speedball's
anything.
got it all, man. I really appreciate that. We don't have that much wine, but
But it could be anything. I mean, you
The
could,
ones
you
you
could
do,
be the,
they're pretty
you could be
okay.
the cheapest restaurant in town, and you're still going to get people
Yeah.
there because you're the cheapest restaurant in
Sommeliers
town.
love it.
But that's your claim to fame, is we have the cheapest food around, or we have the cheapest beer, or we have the cheapest, drink menu.
that's not.
So
well,
it's
cheap. Yeah.
It's got to.
It's kind of cheap, I guess.
You got to have something.
Yeah, you can get a burger and a beer from anywhere.
If you don't have
Like,
something,
why
you got
do I want to go to you?
Because I'm awesome. Anybody else? Any other nice things to say about me? Speedwell Tavern, 47
why-
Main Street in Plymouth.
Why does he keep talking?
Speedwell Tavern, biggest ego in town.
Just don't send him an email.
This one, this one comes from Shelly Lewis, and she manages a diner, and she's trying to create more catering business, and thought about bringing offices cornbread or cut up chicken strips, and a to-go menu. What do you think she can do to increase her catering business?
Well, if you really want to increase it, like make that 50% of your business or more, you're going to have to hire somebody, and their job is to go out there and sell it.
Correct.
they have to be on the street. They have to go to these buildings. You have to go to the
Pop up at the breweries.
Yeah.
Yep, pop-up
Tasting rooms
breweries.
are a great place to start.
You go.
I mean,
You really, really have to put a full course press on it because the people that are ordering lunch now are ordering lunches from these businesses from wherever they order lunch because that's
Panera
what
Bread,
they do.
Chipotle,
But that's what they do.
something like
That's
that.
what
So
they
they
know.
used to, yeah.
If you go in and sell it to somebody, and really bring it in, and maybe it's your first order is 50% off, 10 sandwiches or more. But you really, really got to sell it. You can't just
We have
assume it's going to
businesses
happen.
that come in
I'm
and-
not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I'm done listening.
Now
to
I'm
you.
done.
I was hoping Sarah could talk a little bit. That shut him up. Sarah, who runs Mayflower Brewery, they have pop-up kitchens here all the time, and I wonder why they're doing that. But it's not just to make money here; they're promoting their businesses, these food trucks, right?
Well, they're promoting their businesses, and they're selling food. It's kind of like that in between. People are coming in, they're having a couple beers, they're going to have some food, and then we direct them to go downtown. So we still spread the love. Don't worry, guys.
Good way to do it too is if you're a new business, go drop food for free at other local businesses.
That's what I mean,
So-
That was another thing I was going to say is that because we're not a restaurant, we have people who come in and they bring some samples. Hey, we brought the charcuterie over or whatever. Next time you guys have a meeting, think about us to bring in
right,
catering.
exactly,
And it's huge because I would never have known.
right.
So now I have a whole.
Because you would have just
know,
ordered the next time off the same people that you do it all the
Exactly.
time
Yep.
on.
Right.
And if you see somebody new and somebody you really like, and maybe they're just they're either an established company that's trying to grow or a new company, but you really
on top-
it's not easy. You're not going to get that growth just by saying, "Hey, now we cater."
It's not gonna be
You
overnight.
got to give them the product too.
Yep.
You got to get them hooked.
Yep.
And on top
So I
of
did at
that,
BBC.
as a business that offers like private rentals where we again don't serve food, I have a whole list of businesses that we recommend for catering.
Right.
You give me your business and we see that you're reputable and you're great. You have a really good menu that's diverse. I'm going to offer you out to people that
Yeah,
are
you've
coming
given
in
me
to rent.
that opportunity before. You messaged me like, hey, someone was looking for chicken wings. I thought of you. Like, that's the nice thing about a place without food, and BBC does it all the time too, is like people walk in with a family because other people in the British Beer Company group have food. Dan, yours is the only one without it. So
Yep.
they assume yours does, and they walk in and like, but that's another thing too. If you have a good relationship with businesses in the community that maybe don't offer that catering situation,
Yep, same thing. Hotels, all that.
yep. You got to pound the pavement. You got to form relationships, like Karl was saying. Like, get the stuff out there. Like, make yourself known. Like, you can't just say, "Hey, hire my catering group." People aren't gonna, especially that bulk of a food order. They're not gonna spend that money not knowing what they're gonna get. You gotta meet the person, try the food, do these pop up things, show up to places that don't have food with food, even if it's for free. Do the food festivals. Do all that
Right,
shit.
food festivals, and again, reach out to breweries
Yep.
or restaurants that don't, bars that don't have food.
Conventions, things like that.
A lot of opportunity.
So this email literally just came in. It is from it's from Andy Driscoll again, and
He's on top of it.
it says I'm currently listening to your 2018 recap that isn't even up yet. What does Speedwell, New World, BBC, and Mayflower have planned for 2019?
That is a really good question. And since I don't have anything planned,
Yeah, you kind of.
I'm going to pass that over to Karl.
Well, that's a good question. I don't think we plan out in the bar business 2000 or a year ahead, so that'd be 2019. Well, I just kind of wing it one day at a time.
We got something on January 28th.
We do. January 28th is our famous annual Downtown Plymouth Business Arm Wrestling Championship.
Correct.
We tried fist fighting, didn't work.
Nope.
For Dan, he lost
A
immediately.
lot of
I just
a
cried.
lot of people swinging and nobody landed any punches. I don't know what. It's kind of weird. But other than that, we just kind of go one day at a time and hope for the best.
I mean, I know we will be partnering with Inebriart in February to hopefully February at some point to
Guys,
get some
you didn't tell me.
fun music stuff going on. So we'll be bringing you all kinds of crazy stuff. So stay tuned for that. But besides that, I mean, we don't have anything too crazy planned yet. Survive the holidays and then go from there.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'll let you know in January.
Yeah.
Do you have a calendar?
I do. I have
There's
a calendar.
nothing filled in yet.
2019. Yeah, it's blank, but
Yeah, I'm with Karl. I got the event on the 28th, the arm wrestling event. We got our annual Hops and Hots Fest too, which looks like it's gonna be in late February. We pair up with the fire department. We have a very, very spicy wing competition. We always look forward to that. I don't know what day St. Patrick's Day falls on this year, but
Sunday.
God damn it. If they could just shift that calendar and put it back on a Saturday, that would be awesome. The Red Sox are going to win the World Series again. What else is going on in 2019? That's about it. I'm not having another kid. I can tell you that.
yeah,
Famous last words.
Well, you know.
that's what you said last year.
There's no time.
So I have plenty already planned for
Yes!
2019.
Take that, Carl.
Like a woman.
Yeah. Thanks, Jordan.
Last call.
Someone's going to have this shit together.
So, well, for one, we're going to be closed on January 11th. That would be our annual Christmas party that we do over, this year we're doing it at Blue Eyed Crab. So we're going to close at 5 o'clock that night. So if you're planning on coming by that Friday night, make up the plans because we're going to be partying.
You go to their Christmas party. Just keep following them.
Yeah.
Wait in the
Just
parking
go
lot.
there. Crash it.
Dan, keep that room open upstairs. We have a mug painting on January 24th with the Newbury Arts.
What's a mug painting about?
Well, Andy.
Ooh.
You paint mugs, Jordan.
What kind of mugs? What are you talking about?
Beer mugs.
Like, I thought like faces.
No,
You like your ugly
you
face.
do that
Like,
anymore.
You
I
custom
walked right in.
you customize your own beer mug.
Thanks, man.
We have talks about a beer dinner going on with Blue Eyed Crab. We have Pound is coming back in. Karl, you can speak about Pound. Great opportunity for people looking to drink and also be fit.
Yeah, they're really good.
Carl's gonna piss, I think, or something. I don't know. He's trying to get out of here.
We got the arm wrestling thing coming up. Happy to be participating in that again this year. I have a plant night going on January 31st, which is fantastic. Sat down and talked with our very own Dan Mahoney about doing some fun events over at the brewery.
yeah, Dan Mahoney.
Indoor cornhole tournament this winter.
Snarls Barkley, toss.
She's going to MC all the events.
Sat down with our very own Karl to talk about potential dart tournament, which will be fantastic. Got a lot of inside scoop on how the dart savvy people play. That's not one of me.
Carl's dart.
Sounds like Jordan doesn't want to hang out with us.
And then, of course, the biggest thing that we have planned throughout the year, we have our open house that we do in May every year. I already have some big plans for that. And then, of course, America's Hometown Throwdown, 4th annual year.
Am I hosting that again this year?
Yeah,
Or am I
obviously.
fired?
Nope.
So much fun.
We decided the banter back and forth with you and Jake is what made it keep going.
Yes.
So, excited to bring that back along with our bartender competition. So somebody's going to have to come in and knock Tizo out, and then we also have to knock Co out. Steve Co needs a little bit of a knockdown this year.
Yeah, he's needed that for a while. He just keeps winning, man. That guy.
For those of you who don't know, Steve Co is he runs SWAT culinary assault vehicle. He's a huge competitor when it comes to the culinary field, and he was our winner this year for the America's Hometown Throwdown Chef Competition.
Sure was. Crushed it, too.
Yeah, dumped a hoppy beer on his face, and we learned a lesson that day.
His sous chef did all the work, though. I'm going to say that. Steve Cole, I'm calling you out, bro.
He just sat there and just sat,
Yeah.
did
Just
this-
pose.
Yeah,
Just
throwing shaka bras at
Yeah.
everybody while it's cooked.
What's this thing called? I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, no, stay away from that.
Yeah.
Don't do that again.
Let's go! Was that okay? Was that tone good?
That's pretty good, yeah.
Last call, everybody, and I'm going to kick it off this time because I really got to pee. Jordan Shab at Speedwell Tavern. We are, like I said, in the midst of our 6th year. We just celebrated our 5th anniversary. Half-price wings on Monday. Half price wraps on Tuesday. French fry Tuesday is something we started up doing. We're doing different loaded fries every single Tuesday.
Let's call it what it is. It's TISO Tuesday, right?
TISO Tuesday, celebrating the best bartender in Plymouth. We keep his blood pressure up, which doesn't take much. That dude's angry.
He's got a kid on the way, man.
Wednesday, beer and half-pound of tenders for $10. Beer and burger Thursday, half-pound burger, and any draft beer for only $10 on Thursday. Put me out of business. Come on by. I'm tossing it over to Dan.
Hey, Demoni, BBC. Like I said previously, we will be looking to start some more fun music with Inebriate starting in February. We have our open mic on Wednesdays. There's some great music Tuesdays, Thursdays, and I have a brand new Nintendo to come play. Some Zelda.
This is an oxymoron, dude.
All right. It's a Nintendo classic, so
okay.
It's got wireless controllers, so you can play, and I won't yell at you. But yeah, come check that out. That's all I got. Thanks for listening.
Double Dragon.
Happy year, word.
Right. Karl Heine from the New World Tavern. Just want to thank everybody for a great 2018 and thank all our customers for coming in yet for another year and hoping that 2019 will bring the same.
Sarah from Mayflower Brewing Company. Thank you guys again for having me. Come and hang out with us over at New World on the 14th in January for the Hopetition. Compete and see who wins the best for the IPAs in the local area. Definitely having it in the bag. We have mug painting on the 31st. On the 24th. Sorry, I'm glancing at my calendar. Mug painting on the 24th. We have plant night on the 31st, and that's what we have going on for January. So stay tuned for some different events that we have going on.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. And once again, you guys can follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Bartalkcast, or you can email us at bartalk@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Bartalk. I'd like to thank Fish and Andy, not only for today, but for another awesome year of doing this podcast and dealing with my annoying levels. Thanks, Fish. I'd also like to thank Sarah. She came in. Mayflower's not open on Mondays, and she came in, unlocked the door, walked into the owner, who wasn't expecting us, and still made it happen. So thank you very much, Sarah. Hopefully you still have a job tomorrow. Thanks,
to be fair, he's usually gone earlier than this.
Yeah, he's like me, typical owner. He's never there. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Looking forward to 2019, and we'll hear from you soon.